We're here at Leadership Talks. You can see the background. The room is starting to fill up. Our guest speaker tonight, Ludin, take the stage. Welcome to Leadership Talks, your leadership platform to connect with local leaders and entrepreneurs in the community.
Hey everybody, my name's Ludin, and I'm here at NV Labs in downtown Orlando. I'm about to speak at Leadership Talks, and I'm going to share a message with everybody about creating breakthroughs in their relationships and their leadership. My goal for you tonight is to change how you see about a couple of things. How you see your relationships, how you see connecting with people, and how you see leadership. Because success in anything, whether it's selling, whether it's leading people, whether it's running a business, is always 80% psychology and 20% skill. We're going to talk about 6 keys to leadership, and we're going to talk about 4 keys to connecting. What is leadership? So I was sitting in a training once, and the guy said leadership is teaching people how to think so they can get what they want when they want it. Leaders take responsibility for their circle of influence. Leaders take responsibility for the circle of influence. See, one of my good friends and business partners, Joseph Diaz, he's always saying that your circle is your ceiling. And people always hear you're the sum of the 5 people surround yourself with, but when you really think about it, your circle is your ceiling. Who you spend the most time with is going to be your ceiling. Who you let impact your thinking is going to be your ceiling, right? How many people believe that energies in the universe attract to each other in some capacity? Raise your hand. And if you've missed everything else I talk about, the main thing I want you guys to get out of this is to go where to spend your time with people whose energy you resonate with, right? In your business, in your life, in your relationship. You gotta surround yourself with people on the same mission as you, right? There's a quote from Phil of Macedonia. He said, an army of deer led by a lion is more fear than an army of lions led by a deer. But leadership expert Mark Sanborn says that an army of lions led by a lion is much better than all that. And I truly believe that we're here because everyone here has a little bit of lion in them. Right? You're here because you have some lion in you, and some of you are already roaring. Leadership, when you think about leadership, you got to take responsibility for your circle of influence. If your circle of influence is dragging you down, or your circle of influence isn't bringing you to the level you need to be at, you got to take full responsibility. You want to be a multi-millionaire, who do you follow? Millionaires. You have to always be looking to keep upgrading your circle of influence. You have to be looking for the next person that you might not have made the decision, but the universe might have pushed across your path that you realize you probably should connect with. How many of you have met someone in the last 30 days that you think could change your life or your business if you built a better relationship with them? Raise your hand. Look, all of you, write their name down. You got a pen and paper, write that person down. Leaders lead with questions, not answers. Leaders lead with questions, not answers. And what that leads to is that leaders don't solve problems, they teach. Leaders focus on connecting, not communicating. There's a really good book by John Maxwell called Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. And this is a really big key to the message. You see, so many people, as we talked about earlier, they're busy going through the motions, having conversations, but they never cut to the core. They never ask questions like, what's your greatest goal in life? Or what keeps you up at night? What's your biggest challenge? And so every time you talk to someone, you might want to focus on, what could we be doing to connect on a deeper level? What could I be doing to show them I actually care? What could I be doing to actually listen? So many of us have an agenda though when we're talking to people. We're talking to people, we're not really listening, we're either venting, we're either selling, we're either influencing, we're manipulating, we're doing something other than just listening. And the best leaders out there, they move beyond it because they realize that, you know what? The best thing I can do to make people like me and build rapport with them is let them talk. So 4 keys to connecting. Now, connection always trumps communication, and empathy is crucial. And the goal is to move everyone into a deeper conversation than wherever they started. Right? You want to always make the relationship better, stronger, not flatline. So number 2 is connecting always requires extra effort. Connecting always requires extra effort. Listen, if you haven't been taking extra effort to connect, you're not doing it. It's that simple. Number 3 is connecting goes beyond words. Connecting goes way beyond words. It's body language, it's looking interested, it's being interested. When you meet with someone and they're looking at their phone, immediately, even if they're doing a great job talking with you, there's a whole different level of energy when they go, you know what, let me put this aside. Let's talk. Number 4 is connecting is an acquired skill. Connecting is an acquired skill. We all gotta constantly focus on connecting. You wanna be better at connecting? How many books did you read this year on connecting? How many seminars did you go to? How many tapes did you listen to? How many CDs? Right? What are you doing to connect? 3 leaders know it starts with personal leadership. This is my biggest one to me, because I truly wake up every day knowing that my leadership today, my personal leadership, is going to impact other people. And I seriously think about that every morning. I think about the fact that the 4 people on my team are employed because I get my ass out of bed in the morning and I work. I think about that there's other people in my industry that sell to the same people that are impacted by how hard I work. I know that me showing up at meetings and after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting and pumping it on the Facebook, that there's other people that sell stuff to realtors too, and they're thinking, dang, I gotta get working. See, when you're a real leader, you decide to be a gauge for how other people should take activity. It's something Grant Cardone always talks about. To be a mirror for how other people should be thinking. It's not just about you. So many people are focused on their daily life, and if they're not managing, if they're not a leader, if it's not in your title right now, whether you might be a college kid, you might be an employee somewhere, you're saying, I'm not a leader, but you realize you're impacting everyone around you on a daily basis. You're a leader. Do you talk to people? Do you have a pulse? Then be a freaking leader. It's pretty simple, right? I'm going to share with you that if you're alive right now, if you're listening to this, if you've got ears right now, if you can hear right now, if you can breathe right now, then your best days are yet to come. If you're alive right now, your best days are in front of you. So if you choose to be a better leader, you're going to make a much bigger impact on this world. Leaders take responsibility for the energy they bring the world. And it has a lot to do with what we just talked about. They decide to show up. They decide to get up. Right? They decide to wake up and attack the world. They don't sit in bed and hit their snooze button and wonder when they don't wait for motivation to hit them. Leaders are always asked, how do you always stay motivated? How do you have so much energy? What are you doing to stay motivated? What are you doing to have so much energy? And the truth is, you don't need to stay motivated. Everyone out there looking at how to stay motivated, it's bullshit. You don't stay motivated. You learn to take action with or without motivation. Because I've learned that if you take action without motivation, motivation finds a way to find you. Right? How many of you have ever had this point with somebody and you didn't want to go, but when you went, something really awesome happened? Raise your hand and say, yeah. Yeah. How many of you were excited to do your next appointment? Raise your hand and say, yeah. Yeah. So all of us can agree that sometimes if you just show up, motivation will find you. Decisions are being made by the universe in your life, pushing you. And the question is, are you going to step up to the plate or are you just going to walk around? Are you going to walk around in a lull and not notice there's people you can be connecting with, there's deeper relationships you can be having, and there's iron that can be sharpening your iron, but you're too busy playing around with sheets? You guys follow me? Yes or yes? Yes. Treat every person you meet like there's something amazing about them, and it's your job to find out what it is. I hope you guys write that down. That is the biggest key to connecting. When you meet someone, you want to tell yourself, there is something amazing about this person, and my job in this conversation is to uncover it. And all of a sudden, your level of respect for people, and your level, you stop judging people, and you start respecting them at a very deep level. Leaders obsess over the difference between good and great. They obsess over the gap. They don't say, oh, this is going well. They literally think about what is the difference between the good and the great. What is making the difference between someone doing fairly well and amazingly well? And they obsess over finding it, and they obsess over constantly searching for it and improving it and tapping into it. They don't just settle for the good, they're always looking for the great. Right? They're always relentlessly pursuing the next level opportunity. Yeah, like wherever you are right now, there's a next level for you. How many of you would agree? Yeah. And where you are right now is a direct result of your thinking. Think about that for a second. Where you are right now is a direct result of how you've been thinking, the patterns you've been thinking. And if you want to get to a new level, you absolutely must change your thinking. I don't care if you're doing really well or really poorly, you got to change your thinking. Your ceiling is set by your level of thinking. That's why your circle of influence is so powerful. They determine how you think. And the last thing that I'll share with you is leaders obsess over task completion. They obsess over task completion. They're obsessed with getting the next thing done. Leaders take responsibility for getting tasks completed and doing them fast. They know the universe rewards speed. You have an idea, you have a thought, you have something, inclination, you take action on it. You have a thought, I should call this person, call them right now. I should meet with this person, let's schedule it now. My last tip, okay, is that whatever your goal is, when you wake up in the morning, look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself your goal. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself your goal. Because it's almost impossible to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to accomplish this, but I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm going to accomplish this, but I'm going to take a nap first. I'm going to accomplish this, but I'm feeling a little bit tired. I'm telling you, take the time to look yourself in the mirror and just say, here's what I'm freaking doing. You guys are lions. Are you guys lions? Yeah. All right, if you guys are lions, let me hear you roar on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You guys are freaking lions, right? And if you don't take the time in the morning to look yourself in the mirror and roar, then sometimes it's really easy to forget that you are a freaking lion. And so, the last thing I want to leave you with is never forget that you're a freaking lion. And when you surround yourself with more freaking lions, you guys destroy jungles. Right? You guys run stuff. And so, Hopefully you guys got some ideas. Hopefully you guys got some different ways of thinking. Hopefully you got some things about connecting and about leadership, and you realize that, hey, if you just run with more lions, if you just focus on connecting with people and build a deeper relationship with the right people, with the lions in your life, and you focus on realizing that leadership is about helping other people get what they want in their life, then I promise you, you're going to take your life, you're going to take your business, you're going to take your relationships to the next level. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah!